And we're live.
On their,
who's
their
not
profiles.
that Lou Ferrigno. I thought that guy was huge. He played the Incredible Hulk. So in my mind, he played an Incredible Hulk when I was a kid. And in my mind, he was just a ginormous person. His muscles are huge, but I think he's pretty short. How am I wrong about that?
You might be right, because I mean they use shorter guys like that to look huge.
Oh, he's 6'5". I'm
Oh fuck! Totally, never mind.
I fucked that up entirely. Jesus, I don't know who I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the wrong guy.
Well, 6'5".
You're thinking of
like
maybe the Columbo guy, like Arnold's friend, because he was
Maybe
short.
I am.
He was short, and he was more powerful than Arnold in every lift, I believe.
Huh.
I mean, Lou Ferrigno, he's huge in these old Hulk things. It's just, I think painting your entire body green, it's not flattering. Like there's not, I feel like it's getting rid of a lot of the good lighting and angles that they use. Like he just almost looks doughy, and then you get close and it's like, no, they're visible abs under that green paint.
Well, have you ever seen Pumping Iron?
No,
Yes.
I've never seen that.
Wait, you've never seen Pumping Iron, Taylor?
Do
you know what it is?
That's Schwarzenegger's movie?
Okay, so Taylor,
I've never
Pumping
seen this.
Iron is a documentary about Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to win like his 4th Mr. Olympia in a row or something like that. And it's the lead up to it. And the idea is that he's pit against Lou Ferrigno. And so they go and they cover Lou Ferrigno and his training with his father. They cover Arnold and his whole shtick. And then like it culminates. And then they also cover bodybuilding as a sport and talk about like the deal with it. And then it culminates with the Mr. Olympia pageant. I believe it was. It could have been a universe or something, but I think it was Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this one part where it's like maybe the day before, or it's at least maybe it's the Friday and the thing is going to be on Sunday, but the contestants are there in wherever the fuck. And Arnold is having lunch with Lou Ferrigno and Lou Ferrigno's father. And what you have to keep in mind is Lou Ferrigno is deaf, and he reads lips, but he's not very verbal. I
didn't know that,
especially back then when he was younger. He struggles. So and he was embarrassed by it. Arnold, on the other hand, has been taking acting classes and learning English like for a couple years now. And he's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's a pretty slick guy. And he's sitting there. He says something like, and he's eating like his salad or whatever while he says this. He's like, man, you look tremendous, Lou. You look tremendous. You must have been working so hard. It's a shame. It's a shame. If you just had 3, maybe 4 months to peak, you could have you could have done something this year, you're close. You're close. 3 or 4 more months and you'd have been there. Like he's saying this, and Lou is like kind of picking it up, and Lou's father is just like, you motherfucker, but not wanting to make a scene. And Lou can't say anything because he's incapable of defending himself in like a verbal argument. So it's Arnold
Schwarzenegger
bullying.
comes off like an asshole. He bullies everybody. He bullies people in the gym during training. He bullies people before the competition. He wins the competition and is still incapable of extending any grace. Even after he wins, he's just like, you could say the alpha-ing everyone, but that sounds cool. It didn't come off cool to me. It came off asshole-ish. Yeah.
Like he came off to me as someone who had worked so hard for so long and believed while they were doing the work that they were the best. And then they got there and all of their hopes and dreams had been affirmed. And then he literally is wearing a shirt that says Arnold is numero uno, and he's smoking a joint, and he's just going, yeah. He's just like it just looks like he is the epitome of a winner. Like he's done it, right? Like he's spent the last year working toward this thing, and he's like head and shoulders better than everybody else. It really isn't even close. And
he's a genetic freak.
And the bullying thing, I don't see it as like high school bullying, like for the sake of being cruel. I see it as him trying to get a mental edge on a mentally weak opponent.
Yeah, although you might argue the ethics of that and whether or not that's a reasonable way to approach that, but that's also how it came off to me.
That's the picture.
It's like manipulating an opponent.
Manipulating an opponent, it'd be easier for me to agree with that narrative if that was when he did it. But no, he would, like, his training partners, he was an asshole to the whole time. Like, he's always just better than you. And I wonder,
but isn't this the whole persona you guys were talking about moments ago with the UFC stuff? like talking about the game they're spitting versus the social media image versus what they believe kind of deal? Isn't that just this?
Yeah, I see your point.
This
I have
was
a hard
50
time
years ago.
describing why some people do it and they come off as like assholes or cringe or whatever, and other people do it and I'm like, this is a hell of a show. I want to watch more. But
There's a very fine line, right? Like between being offensive and being like entertaining.
Yeah, or I don't know. Like I have seen people do this jerk thing with a little bit of a wink, like, you know, I'm playing a character here. If you if you really think the ref was distracted and I hit this person with the steel chair, then you're a fool and I can't be responsible for your level of stupidity. But this is the gimmick and we're having a good time here. I enjoyed that. But with Schwarzenegger, it didn't seem like that. It seemed like this was his honest and sincere bullying of the people around him.
Yeah, I have no dog in that. I have no dog in that fight in the sense of like I don't know anything about Arnold Schwarzenegger particularly or care one way or the other really. But when I saw that documentary, that was the kind of vibe I got, was like this is a person attempting to manipulate an opponent. So
yeah, that's what I got.
His workout partners.
Yeah, and who knows what that is. Part of that might be like it might be a fragile ego thing, or it might literally be like this is how you got to think about it, to fucking like that's the headspace he needs to be in all the time to make this win. Who knows? I don't know.
Maybe that level of tea.
I mean, maybe he's pushing his training partners for all I know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I do know that was. You do need to watch that movie though, Taylor. It's
I'll check it out. This is really interesting. I'm looking at
and it's him in his prime.
Wikipedia.
Like it's
maybe you can watch that while you're watching Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm watching that. That Calvin will catch up on Dune.